Hi, yeah, I wanted to do a video today on when to affirm and when to surrender and let go. This is something that, I've been trial and erroring with for a while now. And what I've noticed is, and I think a lot of people have noticed this, and it's where there's a common mentality of surrendering and just being in the moment and letting go, is because that is always when you get your thing. Every time when I've ever gotten anything that I've been manifesting or that I've really wanted. Sorry, I'm so tired today and I'm covered in paint. So I was up till and God knows what time last night painting. But I'm also feeling super inspired. So I want to get all this stuff out while it's there. So whenever I've had a big success with manifesting something, it's always been when I've just been in the moment. I've felt that fullness. I've just been really enjoying, and I've just casually said something this is when I've instantly manifested. Even when I've manifested really, really big things that have taken me a little while, it's always been when I suddenly am just having a visual, it's happening in that moment and I'm not worried about it. I'm completely enjoying it. It's a complete flow. It's free. It's I've had things come in instantly in that moment. I've had a period where I was manifesting a specific person that had been really intense connection, and the minute that I just visualized and it was just this, I'd been scripting, it was this really pure feeling, and I just let go of it, and I just was really in the moment with this blissful feeling of us kissing. And within 24 hours, after 6 months of not seeing this person, that scenario was playing out. We were kissing, he was wanting to be in a proper commitment, everything had shifted 360 since the reason that I left it in the first place. And it was from that just being and that sort of just enjoying the now and the same with my art. I've always just, whenever I've just been enjoying painting and I've just been doing it for my own self and for fun, I've often just sold those things instantly. And just whenever I just pick up on something intuitively, recently I went to a yard sale and I ended up getting so much stuff for amazing value, and then because people just kept giving me stuff, and then I saw an advert the next day that they had some books left and you could just come and pick them up for free. So I thought, oh, there might be some really cool spiritual books there. I'm just going to drop down in my car and just have a look at what's there. And there was a guy next to me he had this app on his phone and he was scanning all the books and he was trying to find the ones that were valuable, because I know what app it is now. He's on an app, and some of the books are worth £1, some of them are only worth 8p. I mean, I don't know if it's something that I would bother with, but obviously that was working for him. And I joked with him, and very lightheartedly, with no attachment, no negative beliefs, no nothing, I just said to him, wouldn't it be funny if I'm just intuitively picking the books and one of mine's worth 100 quid? And it was just humorous because he was putting so much effort into finding the valuable ones. And then when I got home, I actually saw, out of the books that I'd taken, a whole 6 of them were signed by the author. I don't know if these books are going to be worth anything, but it does look certainly collectively they could be worth that amount. And it was said in such a light-hearted, there was, it's forgotten instantly, it was a joke. And that is that instant manifestation thing. And that's why people get into this habit of saying, oh, let go, just enjoy your life, just focus on something else, just get into the vortex, or just surrender. Whereas I have a bit of a different opinion on this. I believe if you're not naturally in that state, then surrendering isn't gonna, I mean, it can occasionally, but on the most part, it's not going to get rid of your limiting blocks. And this is when I think it's important to affirm, to have a mental diet, to really hit the scripting. It's when you don't have that feeling about something. It's when you don't think of that topic and it's fun, it's light, you don't really have attachment to it, you just like, you know, or you're just imagining it and it's that kind of very present enjoyment feeling. If you don't have that, that's when I have definitely realized there's a great power in repetitive affirmations, clicking onto any negative thoughts that you have that are limiting and affirming the opposite. And I think in the beginning it does feel like work, it feels like hard work, but you're really just shifting your energy, because if you weren't needing to do it, your energy would be great and you wouldn't need to be affirming. You would just be in the moment and things would be just flowing to you and everything would, you know, have no resistance. So anything that we aren't bringing in is because there's a resistance to it and there's a negative belief pattern that we're holding about having that thing. So for me, I personally feel that's what the purpose of the affirmation, the affirming is, and the really strict mental diet. It's a way of kind of turning around those limiting beliefs and neutralizing them, because we shouldn't have to like force things into being. But at the same time, if we've got a negative limiting belief about that thing, we're not going to get into the fullness of it. And we're not going to be able to be completely present and in the moment about it. So for me, affirming a mental diet is sort of a way of neutralizing that subconscious block. It's like a feeling of ripeness. And I don't really read like any one person. I tend to kind of just take sources from here, there, and create my own system. But I know there's that, I think it's Neville Goddard that does actually talk about, you know, when you like visualize the scene and you just know it's done and you just can drop it. It just naturally is dropped. And that's generally when the thing just comes in. And that's because you've got into the fullness of it and you're thinking of it purely and you're not thinking of it from a negative belief. If you think on a person or a topic and there's any other emotion that comes up, like fear, some doubt, like you just don't feel light, happy and bubbly about it, then that's the time to just keep affirming, keep doing the mental diet, keep doing the scripting. And the point is you will get that thing or that person, or that when you have that feeling of purity about it, of fullness about it, where you've thought or visualized it and it just feels like a full feeling and there's no blockages, there's no negative beliefs, there's no limitations connected to it. And this is all the process of basically not reacting to your 3D experience, not allowing the 3D experience to be real and understanding that it's the inner experience that's real. And it's that reacting to the 3D that shows you where you still have limiting beliefs. So if something shows up in your 3D and you don't like it, or there's any kind of niggling things, that's when you just affirm, and you realize that you've just got to change your inside until you just feel flow about the subject. And eventually that is life. Life is just like the ultimate state of being is just a flow. We don't have to sit there and like try really hard, but it's like anything, like, you know, if we want to evolve, we have to bust through stuff. And I think really a mental diet, scripting and affirmation is where it's really, really good to bust through those limited beliefs, those blocks, so we can be in a state of surrender and allowing. Because if we try and force a state of surrender, then, you know, if we've still got those blocks in place, we're just going to be in like suspended animation to some degree. Oh, that's at least how I found this journey. So yeah, it's all very well to surrender when that's a natural state of being and you feel super light on a topic. And that is when a manifestation just drops in. Or it just doesn't even have to be a manifestation, just something amazing just drops in. But if you're not able to do something in that place, then that's when you have to do something about it. And I don't think forcing yourself to be is necessarily always the right thing. That's when you start affirming, and you start catching your negative beliefs, and you start reprogramming yourself. And I often find actually that with visualizing, even though I'm a super, super visual person, I find that I can't actually do a visualization very well, like with the fullness of the feelings, until I've affirmed and I've scripted enough that my negative beliefs are pushed out. And then it's like, because sometimes a bit of time's gone by, you know, if you're manifesting for a few weeks or a month, you actually don't remember those feelings and sensations. But then what I find sometimes is when I affirm and I mental diet and I script, I suddenly can tap into it. Like it comes from, you know, from source, and I can just really, really feel that visualization. And it almost comes to me. It's almost like it's coming rather than I'm trying to force the visualization. And it comes with such a fullness and a lightheartedness and a joy, and just enjoying the experience of the visualization. And without doubt, when it's something that's been difficult for me, that's always when it comes. And if you don't feel that fullness and that ripeness of either a visualization or a thought, or when you think about something, then that's when I think this mental diet, this scripting is what works. And yeah, like not connecting to any, like not reacting, non-reaction to any external things that you don't want is really, really key as well. And no contact. I mean, if you've got somebody that's in no contact with you, you can still be reacting, because when you think about the no contact, what do you think? And that gives you a really good indication of your reaction to the no contact. You know, when you have no contact, are you thinking, oh my God, they don't like me, maybe there's somebody else, maybe I'm not good enough? Like, you know, what are you making that no contact about? And I truly believe that when you stop doing that and you come into that zone of like, they contact me all the time, and there's no block or resistance or negative thoughts, or you're not making it about you not being good enough or about anything like that, and you're understanding that it's only something inside of yourself, and you can be super calm and non-reactive about no contact, that's when the no contact can break. So you can be reactive emotionally in very like non-reactive situations, because you think, oh well, no contact and I'm not contacting, how am I being reactive? But reaction is about analyzing your energy. What are your predominant thoughts about the no contact? Are they limiting beliefs that center around you not being worthy and you putting your 3D reality on a pedestal? We don't just pedestal people, we pedestal reality, we pedestal, like anytime we're putting our 3D world above us and thinking it has control over us, we're basically putting it on a pedestal. And I want to do a whole video on that. But whenever we understand that we're the pedestal and we create this, then that's the shift. So yeah, I hope this video is helpful, and yeah, I'll speak to you all soon.